Good morning, fam. This is Turquoise again. Happy Monday. This is not particularly to any one of you, but it's to someone particularly. I saw on a post today, early this morning after my prayers, someone who said, I'm taking down all of my Black Lives Matter because until we stop killing each other. And I want you to know that I get what you're saying. I'm going to tag some people because I want other people to encourage you that what is happening to us and what has happened to us over the last 400 years became what we did to one another. And we still do it to one another. Just because we're asking law enforcement not to kill us doesn't mean we're not still killing each other. The majority of white people who get killed in the trailer parks or in their own homes are usually white people. 90% of the men who have been convicted of crimes that they did not commit but was committed by someone else, more than not, I would say more than 50%, based on the last statistics, were not even other black people. When the DNA was done on the woman in Central Park, it wasn't a black man. So what I'm saying to you is don't get discouraged because we need therapy. This country needs therapy. And the pain that we're feeling right now, sometimes people lash out on the people that are closest to them. I think I was telling you a story once about when I was a teacher, how many children that I had when I used to teach in Jersey City who had never even been across the water to the Statue of Liberty. Now, I never thought it was a reason to go to the Statue of Liberty. I used to teach my students, even though they were deaf and sign language, I used to show them the pictures of the original Statue of Liberty and things, to let them know who they are. So what I'm telling you is, yes, we are still killing each other. Yes, we are still abusing each other. But it is a systemic result of the things that we've been through. And it doesn't make it right. I could tell you that most sex offenders have been sexually abused. Those who spank their kids with belts, even though most of us got spanked with belts, some of us realize that there is there comes a limit upon which you put punishment, and when it switches over from punishment to cruelty. People that kill animals, there's something that is wrong with them, but we're in a healing process, and I don't want you to give up on us because we need healing too. The abuse is like a chain effect. I know you heard of the Stockholm syndrome, where women have been kidnapped and then they become part of the cult of the kidnapper, become part of the situation with the kidnapper. I think you just heard that the partner of Jeffrey Epstein, who was a billionaire in her own right, used to traffic girls and used to other girls, young girls, to traffic other girls. So what I wanted to explain to you this morning is, one, that I love you. One, I know that the pain that you may feel from someone of our own race who may have taken the life or hurt someone in your family or someone that you love at a distance. Right now in Puerto Rico, the spousal abuse, domestic violence, is up 190%. And I don't know if you understand that. That is 3 out of 5 homes in Puerto Rico. There is a family member abusing another family member. Does that mean that they're still not starving? Does that mean that the way that they were treated after the hurricanes by this administration should not continue to give them services? No, I would think you would not say that. So I think, when I asked everyone to pray, when I saw that the black militia are, putting together arms, um, I really wanted to think about what I was going to say today about what's happening and the appearance that gives to perpetuate, violence or war. Violence is it's the very fabric of this country that we were brought to, and sometimes, more times than not, that is the only way we believe that we can get other people to hear us or be punished if you won't listen. It is the same thing with officers who torture other people. They are sick. We're sick. When we say Black Lives Matter, and that no lives matter to Black Lives Matter, that's because the disproportionate number of us who are being hurt or killed for absolutely no reason it's just a disease that is plaguing all of the United States, all of the world. So I say to you, my brother, don't give up on the cause, because we still are afflicting pain on one another. It pains me to see, and I do a lot of domestic violence, how much people say that they love each other, yet they hurt each other. It pains me to see that couples that have been married for, sometimes 25, 30, 40 years, all of a sudden, that they've been in this pandemic together, that, they come to the realization that they're no longer in love. When you realize how the cycle of abuse, mentally, physically, intellectually, moves from one person to another, into the same families, into the same communities, this whole country is in need of therapy. This whole country is in need of healing. This whole country is in need of a reckoning of all of its ills. And when we look in the mirror, we have to also identify with what we have done. I often, when I do a couples class, I tell them to bring a mirror. And more times than not, I tell them to bring a hand mirror. So they think I want them to look at themselves. And no, I tell them to turn the mirror around. Look at the back of the mirror, the void of the mirror. Because you want to talk, and then you want to turn around and look at yourself. First of all, you want to talk, you want to get out what is the pain that you're feeling. Then you want to turn around and ask yourself, how have I, or did I, participate in what is happening to me? A lot of times, the girls that find themselves in situations where they're sexually abused or are sexually trafficked, they have run away from home. They're having problems in their own home. And a lot of the problems that they're having are that they're being sexually abused. So you would ask yourself, how would you go out and sell yourself? It's all that they know. It's all that they know. So, my dear brother, don't give up on us because we still inflict pain upon each other. Don't give up on us because we say we want Black Lives Matter, but we still taking Black lives. It is a sickness. It's an illness, and we are the last people who want to get therapy. And sometimes these conversations that I talk to a lot, but sometimes I'm focusing on one, and I'm focusing on you, because I know that you're on my feed, and I want you to know that it's a healing process, and we're all in need of healing. All of this country, not just Black people, not just white people. The rippling effect Indian people, for instance, they live in a casting system between dark and light. But the dark ones come to the United States, and the first thing they do is look down on darker, meaning us. People, the feeling of worthiness to dominate over another is it's in history. It's part of history, but it doesn't make it right. You know, God gives us all the right to choose, and I'm asking you to choose to be faithful to the cause. But it does not mean that you have to be blind to the illness that has resulted from the years and years of just abuse, mentally, economically. You know, it's not just poor people that hurt each other. You know, I know you know Menendez brothers. They were adopted, twin brothers living in a mansion, yet they came home and killed their parents. You know, in the Columbine shooting, those are two white boys killing mostly white kids, their peers. So violence is something that, you know, don't think that the most mass killings are white people on white people. That doesn't mean that those white people who died should not be given the same value, life value, as any of us who are dying at the hands of white people. The cycle is huge, and white people, Spanish people, Native Americans that are on reservations, most of their abuse is abuse native to native, because there's very few of anyone else there. So I ask you to continue in this healing process. I want you to know that I love you. I understand your circumstances, and you have my number. If there's anything that I can help you to talk through, call me, because you know there's things that I need help on. I call others. One of my sister's line sisters, because my sister's a Sora, her sister, her line sister is actually it's her big sister, but she's a psychologist. And when my best friend Benita committed suicide back in 2013, my daughter was crushed, and she's a psychiatrist. So I needed someone who could talk to her, who understood her whole life. And you know, God be the glory, she has been my daughter's go-to call before. Sometimes she even calls me or my sister, because sometimes if you're talking to a person that does not understand your circumstances, they can't heal you. They can't understand you. I was looking to a black couple that had gone to a couples therapy with a white psychologist, and they both said they were healing each other, watching her not understand their pain. So I understand your pain. Yes, we are still killing each other, but the healing process is much larger than we even know or that we want to accept. So today I send you love, and be at peace that you can't give up on the most of us, because of the few of us have failed in protecting or becoming a part of the what we see as the problem. But the problem is much bigger. It is a larger umbrella. We have to target the nucleus and then spread out and continue the healing. So I'm going to come back with something different this afternoon that I wanted to talk about, the black wealth, and how we were at some point, we were at one point had more money per capita than every white person in America. And that was destroyed not just through the destroying of Tulsa, Oklahoma. When black people did get the land that they wanted, and this is what I'm going to talk about this afternoon, because we could not be in a contract, we had no legacy, legal legacy. So we couldn't give our land over to our kids. And what happened was because the bank owners and the lawyers were mostly white, many times because many of the landowners couldn't read, they gave up their property to their white owners who owned it before them. So that's something we're going to talk about. We're on a freeze right now. I'm not quite sure why, but to my brother, please don't give up. Black lives still matter, no matter who is on the other side of the bullet or the knee. I'll talk to you later.